YouTube also. So let's start. Welcome to Marketplace Monday. All right, so let's do a little roll call to see who is in the house. Okay, remember, use the chat. If you want to contribute to say anything, just indicate to me. But I'm going to be checking the chat on my next stuff here so that we can remember this is going to be, I'm going to teach a little bit. It's going to be interactive. Make sure you have a pen, a paper, as you know what we said, to take some copious notes, okay? And you want to jot down some stuff. This is going to be live on YouTube, so you can go back and check it out, all right? Remember the whole concept of Market Monday, the whole vision projection with Market Monday of being able to merge ministry and the marketplace, because we understand that it's in the marketplace where you function and where the kingdom of God is supposed to manifest through you. That is where you're supposed to have dominion, because we understand the kingdom is within, the kingdom is without, and the kingdom is above. All right, so just put on the text to let me know where you're coming in from. All right, put your questions up. All right, participate, don't just spectate. I want you to participate. Okay, give me 1 hour of undivided attention. So let's get into it. All right, so let's do a little roll call. All right, we have Alison is in the house. All right, Jarrell Surinam is in the house. Amber is out in the cold, Amber. Aline, wonderful. Claudia, Dr. Spence, Elizabeth, Gacelia, Surinam. All right, Joe, Figaro. Oh, Figaro is in the house. Good to have you there, Jay. Wonderful. Keisha, Kay. All right, Shade, Solange. Hey, good to have you on, Solange. Wonderful. All right, Solange, we're going to be hearing from Solange soon, folks. So just put a tag on that. All right, Tanja, Tanis, Tosha. All right, folks. So I want to just piggyback on our discussion from last week. Okay, so you want to take it up from there, because in our discussion last week, remember we're talking about the philosophy or the psychology of money, okay? And what you do with money is really, really important. So in our discussion last week, one of the main aspect of the discussion was your money has a past, a present, and a future. All right, how many of you remember that? Come on, just unmute your mic, talk to me. All right, your money has a what? A past, a present, and a future. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so that last week, not 2 weeks, it's 2 weeks now. We're not on for 2 weeks. Okay, so make sure it's up on YouTube. Go back and check it out, and so we can get into it. Okay, now, so we are talking about the concept of some vital facts about savings. Okay, now I know this may sound this may sound fundamental, but it's an integral part of developing wealth and success. Okay, because I mentioned to you a couple times that concerning the law of duality. Okay, so when it comes to wealth, you need 2 arms or 2 legs. You need a business leg and you need an investment leg, because that is based on the law of duality, which speaks about when God made things for success or for progress, all right, for fulfillment, he made it in pairs. Okay, so he wanted you to see, so he gave you what? 2 eyes. You wanted you to hear, he gave you what? 2 ears. You wanted you to speak, he gave you 2 lips. And we could go on and on, left, right, up, down, in, out. Okay, duality. So in the same concept we talk about for wealth, there's the law of duality is implemented here, because in order for you to be successful in terms of creating wealth, you need 2 legs. You need the business leg and you need the investment leg. All right, so that's basically some fundamental stuff that we were talking about in our discussion. Now let's go into what we call the vital facts about savings. All right, as I said before, savings may sound like, okay, well, you know, we come on the chat, we talk about saving money. What was that important? Okay, but when we get into it, Joseph, just keep your mic low, please. Keep your mic. right? Oh, so keep your mic low. All right, yeah. Yeah. All right. So we want to establish that because it's important. Okay, so let's talk about some facts about savings. All right. Now, and I said to you, if you prepare for bad times, you will always have good times. Okay. If you prepare for bad times, you will always have good times. So allow me now to explain now the whole concept. Now, saving regularly means you are preparing for future crisis because many times we find ourselves in embarrassing situation because of lack of finance, no finance. Okay, so when you have a savings, when you save regularly, it means you are preparing for future crisis. All right, so we use the what we call the 7 years of plenty, 20% set aside example. Now, this whole concept that we put together is basically based on those of you who are familiar with the Bible. It's basically based on Joseph, who was sold into slavery in Egypt, and Pharaoh who got the dream. Joseph interpreted the dream and said to Pharaoh about the 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. And when he interpreted the dream, Pharaoh asked him, what to do? How can we find such a man? So Joseph, he interpreted the dream, created a job opportunity where he was the only one that could facilitate that job. And the concept he put together, and I said to you, when you get some time, go back and read Genesis. I think it's 47 somewhere down there, and go over and look at some of the principles and the concept that Joseph used to sustain Egypt. Now, not just Egypt, but the entire world, because remember, Egypt was that powerhouse at that time. And when the famine that hit was a global famine, and everyone came to Egypt to be sustained to buy grain. Okay? And God strategically positioned Joseph there, who is an Israelite, to literally be in control of the distribution and the structure because he was able to build a system that was able to sustain Israel and even the world during the famine. Okay, so there's a lot we can learn in how he structured what he did in the 7 years of plenty. Okay, which means when the money is coming in, what do I do with all that money that is coming in? Okay, and this is where we're talking about the saving aspect. Okay, you save regularly and you prepare for what? A crisis. So we use this is where we get the 7 years of plenty, 20% aside, 10% also goes for what? For 10% to the Lord, 20% saving. All right. Now, if you don't save, you are not safe. See, okay. So I'm just sharing some facts with you. All right. The first one, if you prepare for bad times, you will always have good times. Okay. The next fact says, if you don't save, you are not safe. So you want to save so you can be safe. All right. Now, saving saves you. All right. So those of you, let's get some stuff on the text now. Wonderful. All right. Somebody from Arima. Good to have Arima in the house. Claudia is right here. All right. So let's get some texters now. Those of you who are texting, I want you to text that for me. Saving regularly means you prepare for what the future crisis. That's what. If you don't save, you are not safe. Saving saves you. Okay, so I want you to put that up in the text for me. Let me put on this next equipment here. Saving saves you. What you save today, all right? If you save today, you're going to be safe tomorrow. That's it. All right, let's get it up there. If you save today, you're going to what? Be safe tomorrow. Because as I said to you, many of us find ourselves in, when there's a crisis, we find ourselves being embarrassed. Because when there's something, situation presents itself, we don't have the cash. Okay, now, so saving saves you. That's it. Put it up there. Wonderful. Okay, now, let's go to the next one. Saving versus investment. Let's talk about that. Okay, Now, saving, setting money aside for what? For purpose. Okay? We said safety, cushion, and what? Preparation. So you want to save money, set money aside for what? For safety, for cushion, and for preparation. Investment is sending your money on an assignment for you. So investment is your money making money for you. Business is you working to make money, and then guess what? Investment is your money making more money for you. So you work doing business. When you get the money, your money's supposed to work harder than you. Okay? So you work for the money. All right. What you do with the money, you have investment put away. The investment now is your money is working for you. Now, there's a phrase we normally use. What do we say? We say we don't want to what? Work like an elephant and eat like an ant. So you're working hard. And some of us, we are working hard for money, but we don't have the wisdom and the knowledge to know how to let our money work harder for us. Okay? So you're working hard for money, but you are not in the aspect of where your money is working harder for you. So investment versus saving. All right. So we said setting money aside for purpose, all right, for cushion, for what? For preparation, for safety. Investment is what? Sending money as an assignment for you. Both are necessary, but saving is often the seedbed for investment. Saving is the seed bed for investment. Okay, because when opportunities present itself, investment opportunities, okay, all right, opportunities that will revolutionize your life. When those opportunities present itself, you must have money to invest. So you want to save investment, you want to have money, is necessary for investment. Okay, let's go to fact number 4. Stay with me. We're gonna go into the questions just now. All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. So saving is not natural. We mentioned that. It is spiritual discipline. Saving is not natural. So we are not naturally inclined to save. Spending requires no grace, as I mentioned before, no wisdom, no anointing, or what? No discipline. Okay? Spending is natural. But saving, listen to me now, it demands what? Consciousness. What again? Intention and strategy. Okay? So grace of God, wisdom of God, and the discipline of the Spirit to save. Okay? So spending is natural. Okay? Come on. We are anointed to spend. If I put some of you in the mall and give you $10,000, come on. I don't have to tell you anything. You are anointed to spend. But it's the saving aspect. We need the wisdom of God. We need the grace of God. We need discipline. So saving now must become automatic. So you want to come to a place where saving is automatic. All right? I mentioned to you about it's like what? It's like driving a bike, riding a bike. Okay? And I used that analogy for you in the last class. All right? Now, so every money you make, part of it is what? Is tied, part is saving before you even think about spending. So your money is supposed to what? Multiply before you spend it. Come on, these are key principles, folks. I'm telling you, when we were growing up, we did not know these things. Okay, and some of us we are coming into these things at an age when we are in that seasoned age. But in your youth age, that age of strength here, you miss that. We didn't have that wisdom. But there's a generation that is coming up now who are able to access this information. Okay, now listen to this. So so the goal is now you want savings to become automatic behavior. That's it. It must become an automatic behavior. So every money you make, thank you there. Every money you make, part is what? Tied 10%, part is saving, and before you even think about spending. So you have we call it the 70-30 concept. 10% go to tithe to the Lord, and 20% go for saving. Okay, now I mentioned to you, let's go again. There are 3 kinds of people. Okay, and I want you to hear this and you see which category you fall in. Okay, you have what? You have you can waste it, you can spend it, or you can invest it. Okay, let me go again. Three kinds of people: the wasters, the spenders, or the investors. Okay, see which category you fall in. Okay, you can put it up on the text there for me. Waste, spend, invest. Okay, now let's define it, because foolish people waste money, average people spend money, wise people invest money. You say it again. Foolish people waste money, average people spend money, wise people invest money. My question: are you a waster, a spender, or an investor? Let me go. Foolish people what? Waste money. Average people spend money. Wise people invest money. I want those of you who are on, just text me, all right, what category you fall in. Come on, where are my texters? Thank you so much. Come on, all right? So this is the question. And I want to challenge you. I'll challenge you as we go in this marketplace Monday. All right? In the spirit realm, where do you rank yourself? All right? Your bank statement. What category do you belong in? Come on, that's it. Come on, I want somebody to play it up there. Come on, let's be real. All right, I'm wise. I'm wise. Okay, come on, Ingrid. Come on, come on. Who is the wise? Who is spending? Who is average? Come on, talk to me. All right, all right, investor. Come on. This is what we're talking about. Now, one of the things I'm telling you folks, when it comes to financial growth and development, you have to be able to be honest with yourself. Okay? You have to be able, most people don't like to look at a bank account, especially those of you who don't manage it properly. Those of you who are spenders, okay? You just don't want to face this thing. Somehow it's like a monster. You don't want to go into the bank account at all, but you have an idea. You know you calculated it in your mind, but you know it's going down, but you don't want to look at it. I'm saying to you, when it comes to financial development, you have to be able to be honest with yourself. All right. I want to thank those of you who put up in the chat there. Okay. All right. And I'm going to call the names. All right. So we have spender, wise investor, wise, invest. I love to invest. Spender. Okay. Wonderful. All right. So that's good. Now, let's go now into the 70-30 principle. All right. All right. And the future in your income. All right. Come on. Go ahead, Tosha. Wonderful. Now, I want to give you a practical structure you can live by. Okay. Remember, I said to you, I'm going to be sharing a lot of principles here with you. Make sure you have a pen and paper. We're going to have some Q&A just now. All right. And I want to hear from you. But I want to give you some principle. Okay. Now, the minimum of 10% of your income is your savings. Now, the challenge is, and I'm going to tell you the challenge is, the challenge is, because majority of us are literally already doing your own thing, doing your own structure. Okay, it's a struggle, it's a fight now to divert into a workable concept, a workable principle. Because remember, we spoke about patterns and mindsets and paradigms that you're fighting with. Okay, so although you're hearing this workable principle that I'm sharing with you, some of you are already into a structure, and some of you, the structure is not working. Okay, so I'm going to share with you this practical structure that you can live by. Okay, now I said to you, a minimum of 10% of your income is your savings. How many? 10%. So we introduce what we call the 70-30 principle. Mark it up there for me, all right? 30% of your income you receive does not belong to you. Okay? It belongs to your future and your God-assigned obligation. Okay? Because remember, in the introduction, I said to you, your money has a past, a present, and a future. 30%, okay, of every income you receive does not belong to you. It belongs to your future, all right, and your God-assigned obligation. The first 10%, which is your tithing, is an act of worship, okay? Where you acknowledge God as what? As your source. And you don't pay tithes because God is not working for you. You give tithes, okay? You don't pay tithes, you give tithes. Now, so that's 10%. The next 20% savings, the future portion of your income, okay? So the 20% is the future portion of your income. Now, let's refine the income a little bit, okay? So if income is 100,000, okay, the full 100,000 belongs to God. Okay, let's go it. Okay, so if your income is 100,000, I always say, well, why you say 100,000? I'm working on 100,000 projects, so stick with me. All right. So the 100% belongs to who? God. God gives you now steward over 90. Listen this, okay? So you immediately release 10% to him as a tithe. You set aside 20% as savings. Therefore, your real salary or your real income is 70, not 100. Okay? Now, hear this now. Now, let's connect back to the money philosophy. All right? So, in every 100,000, so the 100,000, the pass is what you owe or you must clear. All right? So, the pass is what you owe, right? So, we have a pass. The present is the 70% you can structure as lifestyle and expenses. So from that 70% is what you're going to structure as your lifestyle and your expenses to pay bills and all that stuff. The future is encoded in the 30%. The tithe as covenant, saving as future stability and opportunity. So you see where the 100% past, 70 present, 30% future. Your past, your present, and your future. Are you getting it with me, folks? Come on, talk to me. Are you getting this? Come on, somebody say this is good stuff. This is good stuff. All right. We're going to open up the floor just now. Let me just share one more thing here for you. Now, so you understand that. Okay. Now, if you are not saving at least 10%, you are not yet operating in financial wisdom. Let me say this again. If you are not, all right? Hear me? If you are not saving up to at least 10%, you are not yet operating in financial wisdom. So I want to encourage you to start where they are, to where you are, sorry, but aim towards the 70-30 standard. So you start where you are with what you have. Okay? Now, this is the concept. I said to folks, what you have is not what you want, but what you have could get you what you want. What you have is not enough, but what you have could get you more than enough. I wonder if you're getting this. Okay? You start with what you have. You cannot start with what you don't have. But can I tell you, what you have, okay, is enough to get you what you want. Now, let's draw a point of reference. You go back now to, remember, we always using the woman who the creditors came to take her stuff. All right, remember, we use her as a point of reference all the time, right? And she came to the prophet. You know the story because we have been running this a while, okay? And she comes to the prophet. The prophet said, what do you have? I cannot start with what you don't have. Come on. But the problem with some of us, we do not see value in what we have because we think what we have is not enough. But can I interject here to tell you that what you have is not what you want, but what you have could get you what you want. The prophet said to her, listen to this, he said, what do you have in the house? The first response was what? Nothing, because she did not see the value in what it is that she had. What do you have? That you are not seeing the value. And most of the time, we don't see the value because what we have is not what we want. But I am interjecting this year to you to tell you that what you have could get you what you want. But it's what you do with what you have. This is why I go back to say to you, you start where you are. Okay? Now, let's go back again. So if you are not saving at least 10%, you are not operating in financial wisdom. Understand? Okay? Now, when we go into some of the teachings, when we talk about business investment, majority of us are operating on one leg. Because remember, the law of duality, business investment. Okay? So if you just have business, okay, and everything is on the business, guess what? You make money, you spend money, make money, spend money, make money, spend money, make money, spend money. Come on, one leg. That's the problem. So the one leg you have, at one leg, is paying for the car note, it's paying the rent, is everything, food, everything, one leg, one leg, one leg, one leg. Okay? So the concept I'm sharing with you folks, this is simple, but it can revolutionize your entire life. Majority of believers are not reflecting kingdom. All right? They're not dominating. Okay? Why? Because of these fundamental principles they bypass. Okay? And I said to you, this is why the Bible says in Luke 16, when he says, the children of the world are wiser. Okay? Why? Because they are wise, because they have a system and they work their system. We are not wise because we have a system and we don't work it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come on, come on. Are you there with me still? All right? So let's back it up. If you're not saving up to 10%, you are not operating what? In financial wisdom. Okay? So I want to encourage you to start where you are, but aim towards the 70. All right? So now, there's the next point. Let's stop right there. Let's open the floor. I want to get some feedback from you based on what I just shared with you. All right? Let me know where you are, what you think, and so we can do this thing. All right? So let me open up the mic. The mic is open. All right. So, all right. I know we have Ali there. We have folks who are that's contribute. So I want some contributors in the conversation. Beverly, Claudia. All right. So let me hear from you. I'm going to leave it open for the while. Let me hear from you all. Come on, based on what I just shared. All right. Give me some feedback. All right. I know some of us are not operating in the 70-30, but let me know what it is you're doing. What are your challenge? What is your challenge? And a lot of us may find ourselves not being able to make the transition, the shift. Now, keep in mind what I said to you, what you have is not enough, but what you have could get you what you want. All right, so go ahead. Talk to me. Ooh, Avi and John. Right. Let me get your feedback there. Come on.
What I get from this is like, for instance, I had an idea to go into a business, but I didn't have what what it takes, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I just get this thought in my head: use what I have, make do with what I have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think basically that is what I say: work with what you have to get what you want.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's good. Thank you, Ali. Now, I want to ask a question. Why it is that um, that white is people do not see the value in what they have, and they always think it's not enough. All right, now just throwing this out there. Let's have the conversation. Talk to me. All right, Beverly, talk to me. Hamilton. All right. So anybody else who those who want to contribute, just unmute your mic and let's flow with the conversation. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Wonderful.
I am Melinda Samuel. So,
Right.
Dr. Cummings, my thing is, right, I do say, which I know is a problem, and I'm feeling so all kind of how with this now,
Yeah.
is that I would I could gather money quick in terms of I love to throw susu. So I will
Yeah.
throw susu, which a great part of my money will go towards that, and I will live from what's remaining and get by. But when
Mhm.
I throw the susu, I will do something with it. So it may be to pay school fees or do something on the house. So I wouldn't put down anything from it. But now I am thinking, if that's the way I could pull it, if you will tell me if it makes sense, then when I pull the susu hand, then I could just put aside something and then do what I have to do from there.
All right. Now, so what it is with the Susuan thing, and let me just share this with you. So you have avenues where money coming in. All right. But what needs to be implemented is the concept of the 30/70, which means you must be able to, from what comes in, you must be able to, the 10% goes to God, the 20% goes to save, and you must be able to save something from that. Because remember, money comes in because your money, when you work and money comes in, when it's a susu, as it comes in, remember that is not profit.
Yes, I
Okay?
understand.
Right.
I understand.
You get profit from business. So the money that comes in, okay, must be able to build a foundation. That is where you have to be able to save. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
right. So implementing the 70/30 concept there is ideal because now you have a system where money is coming in. Okay. All right. So you have to save part of that for investment.
Okay,
Okay.
understand. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
All right. Okay. All right. Next person, folks. Let's unmute your mic and just share. Because I know, again, this topic, folks, I'm telling you, sometimes when folks hear these things, it's like, because remember, we are already at a place, majority of us are already doing our own thing. Okay? I know you are hearing wisdom, you are hearing revelation, you're hearing principles now. And as again, as the lady who just shared there, the transition now, what to do. Okay? But remember, if you are, let me just share this with you. So, all right, and I was listening. I went back on last week, not last week, I keep saying last week, but the last session we had, right? And I was listening to the teaching and some of the folks that were sharing, all right? And one of the individuals, I'm going to call the person's name, right, spoke about they were working, okay? And they were using the money, they send their children to school, they do all that stuff, and those were good things. Okay? And yes, it's not wrong. But if you do all those things and you did not save, you did not do the 10%, or you do the 10% and you didn't save, okay, for investment. So you will do all of that, all the children in school, everybody there, but now you're broke. Now there's no, you don't have anything. Are you understand what I'm saying? And that's not how it was intended for God. So you want to be able to send the kids to school, yes, but you want to be able to operate from the 70%. Okay? Not the 30. Touch, then let me give you a law. Touch not the 30. That's a new law, the commandment. Touch not the 30. The 70 is yours. Okay? And if you give it time, I'm telling you that. All right? Who again is going to come on there? Let's get somebody else, folks. Wonderful.
Good night, everybody. My name is Tosha Charles. So
Okay,
my thing
Tosh.
is, I have invested, I've seen returns, I could save and everything, but I have now learned to say no. I'm
Mm.
one of those person that does not only give from my overflow, but will dip into my cup and until it empty. I just anybody come and they ask, I will give, thinking that I might get the return, but so far it hasn't worked out like that. So I am learning now to say
Right.
no
Okay.
and to not always be a giver. So
Right.
now I can say,
Right. And you have to give it wisdom, eh? And I'll tell you this, money has an air. All right. And when you have money, and I'll share this, there are 12 months in the year. And in those 12 months, there's certain time in the year where money flows. Okay, so if you go back, if you think back, you're gonna realize that although there were 12 months, there was some time in the month. If I have a one-on-one with every one of you, you will be able to tell me there were certain times in the month, and not just 1 year or 2 years, you saw it regularly. Where, let's say at Easter or at Christmas, at this time, or at this month, money is always coming. Okay, money comes. Okay, and sometimes when money comes, somehow, all right, put it up in the chat there. Somehow, I don't know how these people know that you will have money. Everybody somehow, when you have money, people know that you don't hear from them no time. Anybody everybody could testify to that.
You're so right, Dr. Cummings. You're so right.
Watch them. You don't see them no time. You're not hearing them from no time. All that stuff. But the minute 50,000, 10,000, 100,000 drop in your hand, you're getting called from Spooky, from everybody. You're getting called from everybody. They're showing up. Somehow money send a frequency out that you have money. Bills start coming. Everybody start calling. And listen to me. And if you are not governed by financial values and you have those things established that govern you, as Tosha was saying, anytime somebody come, you will feel, well, I have to help this one and I have to give this one. And sometimes, let's talk about this. And sometimes when you give people money, right, all right, you're not really helping them enough. You think you're helping them. Okay, there are some other students in my problem solving masterclass, right? We talk about this on Saturday. Okay, you think you're not helping them because most of the time, hear me now, when people come to you who are in a tight situation, they're coming to you to get fish to eat. They're coming to you to eat. They don't want to learn how to fish. That is my problem. Okay? I don't mind giving you fish to eat, but I want to teach you how to fish. And majority of people who come for fish, for food to eat, okay, they're not coming with the mindset, I want to learn how to catch this fish for myself. Okay? And that's the problem. So when people come to you for money, okay, you have to have the wisdom of God. If somebody come for you for $1,000 and you know this person is just going to eat that money, which the money is just going to pay bills, which means next month they're going to want a next 50,000. Next month they're going to want a next money. Next month, why? Because it's not solving the problem. Okay? Now I hope I'm helping somebody here. So the wise thing to do, okay, if you want 1,000, okay, hear what? I cannot lend you 1,000. I will give you 300. I will give you 400. I will give you some of it, okay? Because most of the time you are not really helping those people unless that person ready to sit, okay, and learn some financial strategies on wealth to change their behavior, because it's a mindset. Because majority of people who come to you for money, they just want to eat. They don't want to learn how to fish. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach him to fish, you feed him for life. Okay? I remember we talk about the third step. Okay? Some people want to fish to be fed for the day. Some people want to learn how to fish. But there are those of you who want to own the pond. Who want to own the pond. Because when you own the pond, you control the fishing rights. At this stage in my life, I want to connect with people who want to own the pond. Okay? So that you could fish when you want. You could get up 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the pond and fish. Why? Because it's your pond. You control the fishing rights, which means now it's your business. Oh, you didn't hear what I said. I hope you're getting this, folks. All right. I know these are tight topics, but I hope that it can help you. Thank you, Tosha, for sharing that. Come on. All right. And there's some folks, you have listen to me, excuses. All right. I tell people the definition for excuse is a mind-numbing narcotics. Come on. All right. Excuse. But you have to be willing to come to say, listen to me, I'm ready to change the situation. All right? Because how can we talk about kingdom? Okay? God said dominion. Listen to me. Most of you know this is a real pet piece for me. You know, honestly, you know how this all let's get with this, all right? God said he wants you to dominate. All right? You can't even manage a checkbook. What part of dominion you want to dominate? Why? Because we refuse to learn these fundamental principles. Okay? There's a way. Listen to me. And your problem that you're faced with, okay, that's the answer to all that is you're going through. The problem you face, the challenge you face, that's the doorway to coming out of your situation. But again, it's a mindset. Because you want to pay a bill, you want to feed somebody, that is what you want to do. You want to eat. Okay? So now you are hearing principles, you are hearing what you're supposed to do, and you find it's difficult. Right? Why? Because the creditor is calling. The children crying. Come on. Okay? The people calling for the bill, the money, all that stuff. And it's a measure of frustration. And trust me, okay, I'm not being difficult. I understand the scenario, but it don't change the principles and the laws of the word. It don't change it. Okay? So some of the things I'm sharing here with you, go back and listen to this again. It's really, really important. All right? Let's get one more person and then we're going to go and play again. Anybody else? Come on, talk to me. I'm seeing all the folks. Go ahead.
Amber, I have a question.
Amber, go ahead.
Yes. Is doing an insurance policy considered an investment?
It's I have Trevor here. Trevor on. I want Trevor, my guy is on. I don't think Trevor on. Let me see Trevor on. Trevor is not on. All right. Trevor is not on. All right. Next Monday we're gonna talk about that investment in insurance, all right? Because insurance, you have to be strategic with that, all right?
I could just jump on a little bit.
Who's that?
Yeah,
Who's that?
This is Sanj. I would just jump on a little bit based from information that I
Okay, all right. Okay,
gathered. It can. I'm not sure who would have asked the question, but investment can act as insurance can act as investment. There are different types of policies, for example, endowment policies that you can look into that will give you that sort of investment return. So I guess, Ian, when you decide to do that that talk on it, we can just elaborate a little bit more about that. But there are insurance policies that you can definitely invest in. It's just different types of policies. Yes.
All right. Wonderful. Thanks, Solange. All right. So Amber, you heard.
Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna do a discussion on that on the Marketplace Monday. All right.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
All right, and folks, let me just tell you now, I am skillful in certain areas, okay? I'm really good in certain areas. So if I'm not versed in that area, I'm not gonna fake it to make it to tell you something, okay? But I know that we have folks who are on the live, folks who will be coming on. I know Solange is one, Donna is one. We have folks who are on. Trevor is also, and my mentor, Terrell from Barbados, he's going to be coming on sometimes. So we have people, we is an ecosystem here we're building, all right, to create this platform so that you can get these wisdom in terms of wealth so you can develop. All right, I wanted to plug that there so that you can know that. All right, anybody else? Give me again. Who again?
Hi, good night, everyone. Dr. Cummings. All right, I just wanted to ask, is it wise to borrow money to start a business, or should you build on what you have?
All right, this is good. All right, who's this? Denise?
Denise.
Okay,
Yeah.
Denise. Okay, wonderful. Good to have you. All right, good question. Is it good to and this man, this is gonna fall into the next point I want to let me see how much time we have there. 7:38. All right, okay. So I want to steady hour. All right. Now, this is going to tie into something I'm going to share here with you all. All right. But is it good to borrow money for what? For investment. All right. Now, if you borrowing money is not bad. All right. Now, I know that there are scriptures we talk about the borrower is safe to the lender and all that stuff. So we're going to talk about all of those things. Okay. The real meaning of that. Okay. Now, if you are borrowing money to multiply money or for investment, that's a good borrow. Okay. But you have to investigate the investment to make sure that the investment is going to bring what it says it's going to bring. So you have to do your homework. Okay. So I don't advise people to borrow money to go on leisure and all that stuff and thing, to go buy clothes. No, those are bad stuff. No, you're not going to do that. All right, but because it's just gone. But if you're going to borrow money, let's say you want to borrow, let's say a 300,000, and in about a year, 2 years time, that money is going to multiply based on the investment. Okay, that's a good borrow. Are you understand what I'm saying? But you have to make sure and do your homework in terms of the money you're borrowing, where you're putting it in. All right, and the time span. Okay, so I'm going to say it for that because I want to share some things here on an aspect of like emergency reserves. Okay, emergency reserves, because when I do the teaching, okay, somebody say, Kissy, all right, Kissy, come, go ahead, let me hear you. Kissy?
Okay, blessings, bless everybody. Oh boy, great things happening, great things happening right now. So I just
Wonderful.
want to say thank God for this platform. I know you ain't here from yet, but
Now I see you doing
are
your
they?
thing. I see you doing your thing.
Right. So I
All
just want to
right.
thank God for this teaching. This teaching is a real great teaching. And out of this teaching, the 40-day fast, it has given me a lot of confidence. It has pushed me to that next level, not to stay where I am, because now I'm moving forward. Because I have read as well that in Isaiah 41, verse 10 or 8 to 10, God is with us and He holding our hand. So I'm not going to be dismayed. I'm not going to give up. Yeah. And I thank God He has placed in my heart in 2023, woman, feed my sheep. And I didn't understand. But when I read the word, He said to me, Simon Peter, do you love me? Kizzy, do you love me? Feed my sheep the word. And and He continued to speak to me through the word. So this year He had encouraged me. Last year He talked to me and He said, hey, hear this, Isaiah 58, verse 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 10 to 14. And I say, Lord, so I know God's speaking, and I have to trust and obey. And because I'm trusting and obey, now I'm going to launch out, and I need everyone here on deck, right? I thank God because He said this year that I got to do what I got to do. So we working with a dollar drive because we're trying to raise $3 million to help the kingdom of God. And we can't do it in just Trinidad and Tobago, but because of favor, because we continue to pray for one another, just as how Job prayed for his friend, God is doing it again. He is doing it again. And this will be such a amazing thing. So I'm not limiting the God that I know that He is, and that $3 million is going to happen. But everyone who is here, once you see that link, $1 big impact, share it with someone. Continue to pray for us. And as you pray for us, great things happening for you, because God bless those that bless us. And I'm telling you, this is the right place. We are at the right place at the right time. This is the place to be, at this marketplace right now, getting all this knowledge. And Apostle, keep up the great work.
Wonderful.
You have what it takes. You have expertise. You are our local, international, global, God send Joseph. So I thank you for what you're doing, and I
Wonderful.
am on board full 100.
Right.
Don't
What
sell
I'm gonna
yourself short.
what I'm gonna do, Kizzy, what I'm gonna do, when
Yes,
next week when we come on, I'm gonna give you probably 10 minutes to share how we can be part in the dollar drive for the 3 million. All right.
yes, thank you.
Right.
God bless
So you
you.
can talk to them. All right. Wonderful. Okay, folks. So based on that question that Dennis asked just now there, all right, in terms of is it wise to borrow money for investment? All right. And I said to you, it's a good borrow, but do your investigation. Okay. You don't borrow money to buy clothes and all that stuff. I mean, that's dead stuff. Okay. But if you're going to borrow money, make sure you borrow money to make money. You borrow money to multiply money. Okay. Do your investigation in the business. Okay. All that we teach, all that we talk about. Also, for those of you who starting a business, all right, make sure that you do your proper investigation in terms of when you're starting a business. Okay. Also, those of you who you're doing your 9 to 5, your 8 to 5, whatever, and you want to leave that to go into a business, make sure you have enough money put down when you start the business, so you're not going to depend on the business to facilitate your bills and all that stuff. Okay. Now, I want to talk about, and we're going to just have just a few minutes we have again, right? But let's talk about, we talk about emergency reserves, cash strategy. Okay. Now, this is important because you hear the questions are coming in different areas, which we're going to go in. Now, I want to show you the practical safety, all right, dimension. This is 6 to 8 months living expenses. So remember, we're talking about saving 70-30 to invest, all right? We mentioned about business investment, the two legs you're supposed to have. Okay. The business is anything you do that make money for you. The investment is your money making money for you. Okay. That's investment. So this is why you need the savings. You need a foundation. You need capital. You need that. So you must have 6 months living expenses. So if I should talk to you and say, okay, all right, just random name anybody there on the chat. Okay. If you lose your job, if you lose the work, if you just get down and there's no opportunity, no work, do you have at least 6 to 8 months that you can be sustained? Which means all your bills, your traveling, everything goes straight, is taken care of. You don't have to worry about, you can just stay home and sleep and relax yourself and do stuff. Do you have that put aside? That is part of the savings. That is part of what you must structure. All right. 6 to 8 months of living expenses. So you need to have a minimum of 6 to 8 months of your living expenses save up. All right. Now, many of us, we think it's unrealistic. Okay. This is why, with those of you who are on here, probably about 3 or 4% of you have that. Okay. Because many people think it's unrealistic until crisis comes. Okay, like sudden job loss, medical emergency, and the list could go on and on and on. Now, the thing is, now you have to calculate your monthly living expenses and you multiply it by 6 or 8. Okay, that's it. And then you will begin to know how much money you need to have put aside in a saving in case of anything. So if you lose your job, if there's a crisis, if something sudden happen, okay, that you don't have to beg for anything, you have to ask anybody, and you will not be embarrassed. No, that becomes a target for your emergency fund. All right. Now, there's a concept when we talk about you say cash versus keeping money idle. Let me clarify that. Cash versus keeping money idle. Now, the cash you hold must always have a clear purpose. Tosha spoke about having to people coming for money and all that stuff. Okay, cash hold must always have a clear purpose. All right, so you have what we call an emergency cushion. Okay, short-term holding before investment. All right, now money left in the idle bank, all right, listen to me, without purpose is being devalued by inflation and charges. So if you have money just sitting in the bank, okay, all right, you call it saving, but I heard a good friend of mine call it shaving. You know why shaving? Because every month that money they're shaving off a little piece. Shaving. So you leave 100,000 and you think you have 100,000. Guess what? No. In 3 months' time, you go back. Might have 99. Why? Because it's the money is being shaved. Thank you, Shade. Thank you, Solange. All right. So money left idle in the bank without purpose is being devalued by inflation and charges. Money with a mission, money with purpose. Okay. No. This. So you have what? Cash versus keeping money idle. All right. So somebody would say, well, because I save money, and no. But you need that foundation, folks. You need that savings. Okay. You need to implement the 70-30. You need some why? Because when a business opportunity presents itself, like I said to the folks, if I should say, okay, all right, we have how much people on the live here? All right, how much people? Let me see here. Right, we have 44 people on the live here. All right, and I'm just gonna call and say, listen, me here what? There's a business opportunity, all right, that is going down for sure, and we need 3,000 US. All right, and if you put in the 3,000 US, all right, in 6 months' time, you're gonna get 8,000 US. All right, how many of you have that? Many of us may be embarrassed because we don't have it. All right, and those things are wake-up call. Now, majority of us will have it, but the majority of folks, this is why when business opportunity presents itself, okay, so you have that savings. Because if God is going to elevate you, listen to me, if God, listen, this folks, this is something I said, money is not going to fall from the sky like a pie. That's my favorite quote, all right? But, so, God is not going to give you money. Remember, God is going to give you what? Ideas, opportunities, insight. He give you favor and all that stuff. He give you an idea. He give you a multi-million-dollar idea. Okay? So I'm saying, God, I need a breakthrough in this. I need this. I need money. I need that stuff. God is hearing you. He's hearing your prayer. Come on. Your prayer is not falling on deaf ear. But how God will answer that prayer? Remember, we said before, all right, as you all remember this, the answer to your prayer is a plan from God. The answer to your prayer is a plan from God. Okay? You have to be willing now to what? To work the plan. And in that plan, there's $1 million plan. The woman who the creditor was coming for a son, she came to the prophet and he gave her what? A plan. She worked the plan by instructions. You have to be willing now to take instructions. When we come on the marketplace Monday, we have teachings, we have discussion, and there's a lot of instructions. Are you because many of you are praying God for opportunities. You're praying God to know. Here we have Marketplace Monday. It's free. Come on. You just have to come on. All right, 1 hour. And you getting instructions, you're getting stuff. So the woman goes to the prophet. He said, this is what I want you to do. I ask you a question. What do you have? Because it always starts with what you have. You got to see value in what you have. May God open your eyes to see value in what's in front of you, what you have. Because if you devalue what you have, you can have the seed, all right, with greatness in your hand, but you don't see the value because it is in seed form. It is in potential form. Okay? She goes, she works the plan. Borrow vessels, bam, close the door, throw the oil. Guess what? The prophet comes back. What to do? Okay, this is what I want you to do. Go and sell the oil and live on the rest. Business, come on. She has money, she's living on the rest. Offer what? Instructions. A plan, but she had to work it. She had to work it. Okay? And now she's living off the rest. All right? So, cash versus keep money idle. Money must have a purpose. Okay? Then corporate and family insult fund. Mark that down for me. Insult fund. And that's the last thing we'll talk about. All right? Introduce the insult fund, which means or contingency fund. Contingency fund, which means money packed for unexpected crisis, so you avoid humiliation and desperate borrowing. I want you to hear this, folks, and I'm going to close with this. All right? So this is what corporate and family, it's called insult fund or contingency fund. All right? Money packed, saved aside for unexpected crisis. So you avoid humiliation and desperate borrowing. Okay? So make sure you get it. So what I shared with you, this is what? Emergency reserve cash. Because somebody will say, why should I save? Where will save? No. Come on. All right? And I give you I said 6 to 8 months. Living expenses put away. Calculate your expenses, multiply by 6 or 8 months. Are you going to know the figure? All right? Then I said to you what? Cash versus keeping money idly, which means idle. Your money must have what? A purpose. And then the next one was what? Corporate and family insult fund. Okay? So any questions and any response? So let's bring it in now. All right, because it's 8:35, 5 minutes over. Talk to me. Let's take a few questions and let's close it up for tonight. Remember, this is going to be on what? On YouTube, so you can go back and listen it. Thank you, Solange. Avoid embarrassment. That's it. All right. Check it out there, folks. I'm listening. This is good stuff. All right. So let's get about 2 or 3 persons. Either you give me a feedback or you ask a question. Talk to me. All right. Who we have here? We have Gasella, Joe, Josiah, good to have you on.
Hey, and I just want to share maybe this is a testimony based on what you were mentioning about contingency fund, having an emergency fund as well. You know, my mom would have suffered a heart attack last year. And so it was a matter of, you know, it was a rush, right? She had to be in rushed to emergency. And while the doctor was saying, okay, this is what we have to do. We have to put in some stents. We have to open up the arteries. But before he did so, he was like, this is going to be very costly in order to save her life. And we were like, okay. Because we had put aside that emergency fund, we was like, you know what, doctor, just do what it takes to save her life, right? And if we didn't have that fund put aside, then we would have just been stuck, like, because he wasn't going to go forward to do the procedure if we didn't have the fund. It was almost like 200,000 that we had to have set aside there, you know? So having an emergency fund saves lives, right? So that's what I'm meant to say, because if you don't have it, then you risk the opportunity of saving a life, saving your mom, saving yourself, right? And it also must be accessible to someone, because if you get unconscious and you don't share what you have, then you have to be pulling and tugging, you know, you have to make up the money, you know. So having another key point here is making the money accessible to someone you trust, so that in the event that something happens, that person can act on your behalf and get stuff done. Because it was like an immediate response that we had to, we had to just do it, like it was quickly. We wasn't expecting that to happen. We wasn't, it wasn't a plan, but we made a plan for a plan. You know, we put something in to ensure that a life would have been saved. So that is just what I want to share.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot for sharing. Folks, you heard it for yourself. All right? That emergency fund, putting money aside. We go back to the 70-30 principle. All right. And I know that some of you are hearing You think, well, probably you're in your 40s, 50s, whatever, and you say, oh my God, I don't know. You know my favorite quote, I put it up on my status today. The late Dr. Martin Luther, the time is always right to do what? What's right. Okay? It's not too late. You can start now. You can start where you are. You can start with what you have, but just start. Do something. Okay? One more person, anybody wants to share, ask a question or contribute, the floor is open. Give me your feedback on tonight's session. All right? Okay. So everybody good there so far? Just give me a yes, give me a thumbs up, give me a yes in the chat, please. If you receive, excellent. All right, wonderful. Yes, Solange, wonderful. All right, Tanja, all right, wonderful. Dr. Spence, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so I just know that. Okay, wonderful, Melinda. Yes, good, good. All right, so folks, I want to thank everyone for coming. Remember, take time and just let me see if there's anything I'll share with you all here. Oh, what I have here coming up. All right, I have this here coming up. All right, I have so let me just share some things with you. Oh, what I have here. All right. So remember we still have the lab. All right, the Dominion Lab. Those of you who want to be part of the Dominion Lab, remember that's the subscription, $100 a month. That's going to be starting on the 1st of March. All right. Okay, so we still have room for more folks. If you want to be part of that, all right, just text me lab on my WhatsApp and I'm going to add you in. Now, on the 22nd, 21st, and 22nd of March, all right, I'm going to be doing this. Some folks have been calling me and asking me for the meditation. Okay, and some of you have been hearing me sharing about when you meditate, how the word opens up, but there's a way to do it. There's a way how to do it. And I'm going to be doing 2 days, the 22nd, 21st and the 22nd of March. One is a Saturday and one is a Sunday evening. It's called Hagat. That's the word, one of the Hebrew words for meditation, biblical meditation. All right, day and night meditation for accessing kingdom dimension. All right, so I want to show you, walk you through the process on how to meditate on a word or on the word so you can open up and give you access into dimensions. All right, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to talk about how to meditate on different names of God. Okay, how to get it to open up for you. So if you want to be part of this, message me on my WhatsApp so I can give you the link and be part of this. All right, so I want to thank everyone for taking time to be on this live tonight. Remember, this is going to be up on YouTube. Go back and listen it, take your notes, and just remember implementation. All right, application. Okay, you don't want to be stuck in knowledge paralysis. All right, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to be with us on tonight. And next week Monday we're going to be same place, same time for Marketplace Monday. Invite a friend, tell a friend, but let's come together. Remember, stay blessed and don't be stressed. Love you. Take care.
Blessings. Good night.